Okay, this video is going to be a tie-in of another pattern of mine. It's a foxwing Wilkinson. So this is a size 6 full and melt magni hook, and it's in silver. So start the thread at the eye and wind it back till you're in line with the points, and on your way back down, catching a length of oval silver for the tag. Come back up, come another 3 or 4 turns back, and probably wind 3 or 4 turns of this as a tag. That's 3, that's 4. Then cross your thread underneath and tie off your oval tinsel. Trim your waist. At this point we're going to tie in a tuft of red bucktail, or you can use red squirrel or Arctic runner if you wish, or Arctic fox. I'm just going to use bucktail. Keep it nice and sparse, not too much. Swims better if it's a slightly sparser tail, so line these tips up roughly with your hand, and again keep the tail probably 1.5 or 1 1/3 times the hook shank. Tie in with a couple of loose turns. You can always pull the tail in if you want, and if you keep your waist ends in just till you're happy with the way the tail's sitting, a wee bit of wax, and at the same point catching a couple of lengths of crystal flash. This is going to be pearl, and it's the micro flash, so I prefer it to the standard crystal flash because it's so fine. It looks a lot neater in the fly. Just get this autofocus to work again. So carry on down towards the eye and tying in your bucktail and flash, and then on your way back up catching a length of silver wire and take it right up tight against your tag. And at this point I'm going to use it's usually a plain tinsel body in silver, but I'm just going to use holographic because I have it to hand. So catch your holographic in at the back and wind up and leave about 4 or 5 mil of a gap between stopping your thread at the eye. Wee dab of glue along the thread, and then you can wind your tinsel straight over the top of it. So make sure your first turn is neat up against the tag and there's no on the body showing. When you get to that point there, leave yourself a wee bit of room for your double wing, hackle and jungle cut. Trim the waist. Take 1 turn of your wire up against the tag, and then come down the body in even open turns. Probably sort of 5 turns I would say is about right. Catch in your tag end of wire and bend and break it off. At this point I'm going to catch in a tuft of, it's a dark blue Arctic fox. I can't remember the colour of it. It came from Foxy Tails, so I must see if I can get another bit of it. It's nearly done. It's like a lovely deep blue, but it almost has a purple tint off it. And don't be afraid of keeping the guard hair or the underfur in it. Keep the underfur in it and a few of the guard hairs too, and keep it reasonably sparse. Don't make it too heavy. I'm going to catch it in with two loose turns. Just check it for length. So it's hard to see the blue against my t-shirt. It's the blue there, just about in line with the bend of the hook if you take a straight line up. So make sure it's cute. Oh, broke the thread. Nice. it's still holding that wing on, so we're not too bad. And get this bobbin threaded. Another couple sitting there, but with no more white thread in them. And just take this part of the wing out of the way for the minute, and start the thread over the top of that. I don't know what I've done there, probably caught up my hand. So once you've got caught in, tie your wing in again, and hopefully it'll not break it this time. Trim away your waist. Wee bit of wax again, and then I'm going to catch in another part of the wing, which is going to be a magenta Arctic fox. And again, this is Foxy Tails fox. Keep the under fur in it as well, and a small tuft of it over the top. Keep it in around the same length as your blue, and tie it down nice and tight. Make sure you're happy with it before you go ahead, and if you are, the next thing is a black cock hackle. So this is just a Chinese dyed black Chinese cockback. So I'm going to tie it into the tip and probably give it 3 turns, and then jungle cock eyes is the step after that, and then pretty much that's the switch colour thread at the head after that, and that's the fly pretty much finished. Pretty straightforward to tie. So one turn in front to the other, keep them tight, and head towards the front of the eye of the hook. So once you're happy you've got it in, cross over your hackle stalk, and get 3 or 4 turns in there before you trim anything. Make sure it's not going anywhere. Trim away any strays and anything forward, draw it back, and take a few turns back up over it. So say the final step is a couple of jungle cock eyes. Tempted to use these magenta ones I've dyed, but the original one I tied had plain natural jungle cock eyes on it, so I'll stick with the natural. So just pick a couple eyes off the cape to the right size. This will vary from person to person, so I'm just going to tie on what I like. And sometimes I tie them in bigger, sometimes smaller, so no rules here, just whatever you think. I'll tie one on this side, 2 loose turns just to hold it in place. Leave the wee fine stalks on, put one on the side facing the camera, take a couple of loose turns over it, just going to pull it slightly in. I'm just going to check this angle here. Yep, I like that. Couple of turns, a wee bit of wax in the thread, another couple of turns, and then back of your nail, if you push the stalk back on each side, start down at the bottom and work your way up, you can secures the stalks in, so you've doubled the feather back. And whip finish, trim away your white thread, just take a second and trim away the ends of the jungle cock feather, the wee stalks you've doubled back. And at this point, my original one had a fluorescent orange head on it, so that's what we're going to go ahead with. This is exactly how I tied the original one. There's no change. I still have it in the box actually. So open out your floss, and all I'm going to do is once you've built up a head, take a couple more turns, and then I'll open the floss out slightly by spinning the bobbin, and then we'll get a 3-turn whip finish. I'll smooth out any 3-turn whip finish and tighten it up. All you're left to do is varnish it, or a bit of UV Deer Creek resin, and that's the fly finished. So that's a Wilkinson's foxwing. Thanks very much for watching.